How's it going, party people? Welcome to Fat School, and I am going to show you exactly how to get rid of your beer belly without getting rid of that lovely beer. So, I am the Fatinator, the most unfit, unathletic, beer drinking, ice cream loving party animal there is, but I still manage to be able to get a six-pack without becoming one of those boring nerd fitness. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now in 3 easy steps. Let's crack on. As a fella, you naturally, for whatever reason, whoever made you, God, Darwin, I don't know, but naturally you have a lot more visceral fat, okay, than outside fat. Okay, let me show you what that means. Visceral fat is the fat that's in between your organs, okay? So it's in between there. The other type of fat, the outer fat, that's just in between the layers of skin. Okay, now the reason for this is, have you ever noticed that? Now check that out. That's a fella and his big beer belly, if you can see it. Okay, have you ever noticed that the beer belly, it's not like other bellies, okay? It's very round and it's very, kind of hard, and it's very, it's not flabby and falling and sloshing around the place. That's because it's made up mostly of the visceral fat, and that's way deep down within the organs. And what it does then is it pushes the organs out. So you get this kind of roundy belly, okay? See that fella there? Yes, that used to be me. So that's why you get it, okay? And fellas, for whatever reason, are very prone to this visceral fat. We have way more than the girls, okay? And yeah, that's why we look like we have a big, huge beer belly. So straight away, it's not your fault, okay? It's your genes. What else do we need to understand about the problem? Okay, alcohol, right, is very, very high in carbs and very high in calories. Okay, they're fat little bastards, those alcohol calories, okay? You wouldn't think they are because they're all liquid and flowy and they don't have any sugars or sprinkles on them, but they're very high. And also they're made up of a lot of carbs, and carbs are very, very hard to burn. So that's the other reason that you have your beer belly, is there's a lot of calories and there's a lot of carbs in the beer. And not just the beer, okay? Maybe I include the others in this as well. It's in the alcohol, so it's in everything. It's just the beer has a lot of other ingredients that also have a lot of carbs and calories. But the alcohol itself, it's very high in calories. It's a sneaky one. Okay, so calories and carbs, right? Alright. Okay, one more now on the problem. It's not that they've got so many calories and carbs, it's how many drinks Okay, now listen, this is the big one. Watch, I'm going to explain this with some Irish mathematics. 1 chocolate cheesecake with chalk, cheese, alright, cake. 1 chocolate cheesecake, the average one, right, is about, and I'm an expert so I should know, the average one is about 5,000 calories. 5,000 calories, okay? Now, the average beer, right, let's say 5% and one of those little cans, okay? That's 150 calories. So, 1 beer equals 150 calories, right? Okay, now let's say 150 calories equals 1 beer. Let's say you have 10 beers at the weekend, maybe 5 on a Saturday, 5 on a Sunday, whatever way you like to chop it up. Let's say maybe you have one during the week, okay? Just to take the edge off before you go in and battle the kids and the dog and the rest of it, okay? So that would be 10 and 5, 15. So let's say an average of 15 of those beers per week. Now listen, there's a lot of me Irish buddies that be listening to this and they be rolling around laughing because I'm being very, very generous here with the 15, okay? That's the life of a monk I'm talking about, but let's just keep it at that because not everyone is Irish. So, let's say average 15 beers per week, okay? Per week. So let's say then that that is 150 calories multiplied by, let's say, 50 instead of 52, right? 50 weeks per year, all right? Multiplied by 50 equals 2,250 calories, right? So that means that you are eating 1/2 chocolate cheesecake, chocolate CC per week, or check this out, two chocolate cheesecakes per month. Holy Jesus. And again, I was very, very generous with the alcohol consumption. No Thanksgiving, no birthdays, no Flag Day, no all the special occasions, okay? But there you have it. And that is the real reason that you have the beer belly. It's the sneaky calories in disguise. Like 2 chocolate cheesecakes per month. 2 of them. Have you ever sat down and had 2 chocolate cheesecakes per month on a regular every month since you were 21? No. Would you eat a half a chocolate cheesecake per week? No. But you would no problem drink those beers and think, this is perfectly normal. By the way, what the hell is this? Okay, and that's what it is. That's where it comes. It's the fact that the beer, we don't think about it. We don't go out and have 10 bars of chocolate and think that's normal. But we'll go out and have the beers because we're socializing and that's the way we've been brought up. Alright, so that is the problem. That is why you have it. A little bit of science, okay? A little bit of nutrition, but mostly it's the social, society, lifestyle, culture that you were brought up in. It's those calories in disguise. Alright, there's step 1, the problem. Now let's move on to step 2. How the fuck are we gonna get rid of it? Okay, step number 2 on how to get rid of the beer belly without getting rid of the beer is a plan. Okay, so we saw that we have our problem and we saw how and why we have this problem. Now the first 2 things we talked about were the high calories and the high carbs, and also as a fella you were just born to put on visceral fats that's in and around that area. Now we can't change that. We can't change biology of ourselves and we can't change the nutrition of the alcohol. But we can change the neurology. That's right, we can change the brain, which brings us to that last part, the real problem that we have, and that is how much of those calories that we take in because of culture, society, and the way we've been brought up. First part of the plan is, ready for this? Stop! 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 Alright, stop. Very simple. You're gonna stop drinking. I know. I can hear you screaming at me already. You said we could get rid of the beer belly without getting rid of the beer. That's true. But look, It took you how many years to get into this state? If you just give me a little bit, tiny bit of time, I'm going to get you out of it for life. Okay, but the first thing we got to do is we got to stop. Why do we have to stop? It's very, very simple. You got into this problem because of your habits, because of you doing stuff. Nobody shot you with a ray gun. Nobody poured liquor or beer down your throat. I mean, not, you know, unless you were at a toga party, but nobody put you in this. You at some point made the decision to have the 6th, the 7th, the 8th beer, okay? Now look, I'm not getting on me high horse. Look at me. Okay, so I know I've been where you are, but I also know how to get out of it. And the first thing you have to do is you have to stop. Why? This is the most important part. Because you want to. Because you want to stop. Okay, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay, you want to stop. And why do you want to stop? Because you know that you're a little bit out of control. Okay, you're not falling around and spending all day having a fight with the lamppost, but you know that when it comes time to going out and you think maybe I won't have another one, you find yourself in the same predicament. You wake up the next morning and you're like, what the fuck happened? Okay, deep down you want to stop, because deep down you don't like being a slave to anything. Okay, you want your control back, and that is why we have to stop. So plan is we stop for 1 month, okay? 1 month. Put it in there. Okay. Because when we write it down, we make it real. After a month of stopping, no alcohol, you've gotten through the war, you are going to see some amazing results, I promise you. The fat is going to melt off you, right? Right before your very eyes. Right before your eyes, you're going to see the fat just come off. Probably around week 2, definitely week 3, okay? Why? Because it's such a major calorie deficit. You're taking a big chunk out of your calories. You're taking out all of those fucking cheesecakes, well, all those beers, that 2,250 calories on a good week. Also, you're taking out all of that, those drunken dinners when you're going home, the nightclubs are all closed and the only thing that's open is that burrito place, and you fall in love with the chimichanga. How many of them have you had? Because I'm telling you, you're not going to some vegan cafe after you've had about 10 pints of beer, okay? So you're gonna see, without doing anything else, you're just gonna see the fat fall off you. Literally fall off you right before your eyes. It's like Tom Hanks in Big. You're gonna wake up one morning and be Jesus. Okay? And what's gonna happen then? Well, the first time that you say no to your beer in a time that you've been drinking that beer for years, you are going to feel the power. Okay? It's not gonna feel good beforehand. It might feel weird as you're saying no. But as soon as you do it, as soon as you put your foot down, if you make a line in the sand and say no and follow it through, dopamine will be released. You will feel your power coming back and you're gonna want a little bit more. So it's gonna get easier through the month to say no. Okay? The other part of the plan is I need you to acknowledge all the way through. Okay? I need you to stop and take a mental screenshot like you do with your phone, only press your ears, take a mental screenshot so you remember. And what are you acknowledging? What are you taking a mental screenshot of? All of your little triumphs, okay? I want you to take a mental screenshot of the fact that when you got through a night without that bedtime beer or that glass of wine to knock the edge off, the world didn't end. Alright? It was a little more boring than usual, but it didn't end. Okay? It wasn't the be all and end all of everything. Or when you were going out and you were like, I think, I would usually have another beer straight away after this one so I could be social and get in. But you got in there, you had a little chat, the world didn't end. Okay, maybe you weren't the life and soul of the party, but you survived. I need you to acknowledge that. Okay? I also need you to acknowledge how good you felt when you put your foot down and you took your power back. Okay? Stop and acknowledge. How do I feel now? Okay, I feel a bit of a nerd. I feel a bit boring. I feel like maybe, people think, jeez, what's up with him? But I also feel strong. I also feel like, yeah, I'm in charge. Okay, so that is it. First part of the plan is we stop. Second part of the plan, you reap those rewards. You see what happens when you take your power back. And third part of the plan is you acknowledge. Remember. Alright? Take a mental screenshot. Don't just let it pass you by, because we need this wisdom. Alright? For the third step. Okay? The third step. We've gotten the results. Now, how are we going to keep them? Better yet, how are we going to get more results? Because now that my beer belly is going, I want the six-pack. Alright, so first of all, you identified the problem, okay? Started to understand why you have this beer belly. Second step, we came up with a plan, okay? What we're going to do to get rid of it. Now, third step is we prosper. Because I promised you that I'd get rid of your beer belly without getting rid of the beer. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now we're going to start to bring it back. Prosper. So, let me show you exactly how we do that. Number one, we're going to bring it back slowly. Ease into it, okay? You've got your power back. You've lost a load of the beer belly. You're feeling good about yourself. Okay, but you can't stay away from it forever, because that's not you. That's definitely not me. But we need to bring it back slowly. Okay, we can't fall right back into those habits that we've had for the last God knows how many years. So bring it back slow and controlled. Right? We don't want to lose that control. How many L's has control got? Oh. Might be showing myself up to the whole world, but never mind. Once you understand what I'm saying, that's all I care about. So, slow and controlled. You have to bring it back slow and controlled, okay? How do we do that? Well, you need to plan everything, okay? I know it doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but believe me, it can actually be fun. And it has to be planned. This easing your way back into the party life has to be planned. Why? Because your enemy is surprise. Plan out the fun. Plan the fun. Don't worry, you won't have to do this forever. Plan that fun. Alright? So, slow and controlled, you ease yourself into it. You choose a day on your first week, and you choose an amount or how many drinks you're gonna have. And that's it. You don't go over it. Stop and check yourself, okay? I've got loads of little cheats that help you do this. If you subscribe, you'll get them all the time. But stop and check yourself. Here's one. Sometimes if I'm feeling like I've had a little bit too much and I have a long way to go in the night, I stop and I have what's called a buffer. That's right, a buffer. I have maybe a Red Bull, or it could be anything. It could be Coke, it could be water, it doesn't matter. It's just a little drink, keep it there on the side, and you sip away on it to get yourself back in the groove, to kind of get control of yourself again. Alright, so you need to be checking yourself. Check yourself. Oh shit. There we go. That's some Irish spelling right there. Alright, check yourself. Okay, so how do you prosper? How do you get the gargle, the drink back in your life? Slowly and controlled. Plan the fun, plan the day. Okay? And when you're on that day, you need to check yourself. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're still in the driver's seat. Okay, now, the last one here is, remember I told you to take those mental screenshots. Okay, I said we need them. And this is where you need them, alright? You need to remind yourself every now and then, okay? If you start to lose the run of yourself, if you start to slip back down that slope, you need to bring back those mental screenshots. Remember, just like the memories on a great vacation, I want you to snap through them in your mind. Remember that time, the first time you said no. Remember, you put your foot down, you fought, and you won. How great you felt to get your power back. Do you remember the first time you got up and you didn't even look in the mirror on purpose? You just all of a sudden caught a glimpse of yourself and you were like, Jesus, I'm melting away. How good did you feel? How did you strut down the street that day, okay? All these little wins that you had, those mental screenshots that I made you take, now you bring them back. Because they are going to reinforce yourself, reinforce the power, okay? It's not to bring yourself down or depress yourself. It won't. It's like a holiday that you were once on, that you remember the great times you had. And that's going to keep you on the straight and narrow, because you don't want to go back to those places before then, okay? You want to stay. You want to remember what it was like to have that power, and you don't want to give it away. So, check yourself. You need to mental screenshots. Bring them back. Alright? I told you they'd come in handy and I wasn't lying to you. Okay, so how do you bring it back? The third step in how to get rid of the beer belly but not get rid of the beer is bring it back slow and controlled. Plan the fun. Then check yourself to make sure that you are sticking to the plan and you're not losing the run of yourself. And 3, mental screenshots, okay? Bring back those memories of how good it felt, right? When you took your power back and when those when the fat started melting away, how good you felt about yourself, and also the bad memories, how bad you felt when you were fat and you were wobbling around and you just didn't have control. You felt like you were just a slave to the beer, okay? Bring back those memories, those mental screenshots, and they are going to keep you on the up and up. Okay, so there you go. 3 steps on how I got rid of that beer belly, but I still enjoy a beer, okay? And until I see you again, Fat Fighter, stay in the fight. Woo!